Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Erica, and in today's video I'm collabing for the very first time with my very dear friend Tracey. Her channel name is Lilith Luna, and of course I'll have a link to her channel in my description box. Now she and I met several months ago, maybe I think over a year ago, on Instagram. She and I just happened to find each other somehow, and I just fell in love with her pictures of her makeup looks. And she and I started commenting back and forth underneath of our pictures and, just spreading the love. And the next thing I knew, she and I were DMing each other quite often on Instagram, and we've continued to do that. Tracey and I talk pretty much daily on Instagram in a DM, if not daily, like every other day. And she is just absolutely beautiful. And she creates some of the most beautiful makeup looks I have ever seen. There are times when I'll be scrolling through my feed and I'll see her picture and I grab it and put it up on my stories because I just want everyone that is, following me, hopefully, to go and see that because she's just incredible. And she also has the most beautiful hair. I'm obsessed with her hair. I'm obsessed with her, but really her hair. And I don't know, a few months ago, she decided to start her channel, of course, here on YouTube. And I was so excited and so happy that she'd done that because I really was hoping that she would. And a few months ago, she started her channel here on YouTube. And I was just thrilled that she'd done that. So happy for her, so proud of her, because I really felt like she should start a YouTube channel because she has so much talent and she's so beautiful and so fun. And so here she is on YouTube creating these amazing videos. She also does like fashion hauls and like fashion try-on videos, which I love to watch. She's got excellent taste in fashion and of course in makeup. And so I really want to recommend her channel to you guys. I want you to go and subscribe to her channel and show her a ton of love and support. She absolutely deserves it. And she is kicking butt here on this platform. She's getting tons of views. She's getting lots of subscribers. And I'm just so happy and so proud of her. And I've already said that, but I'm going to say that probably a few times throughout this video. So of course I reached out to her not very long ago and I said, Tracey, we've got to collab together. And she agreed to do that with me. Now we have, I think, a few similar palettes in our collection, but there's one in particular that I really wanted to use again. And I know Tracey really likes this palette and I really don't like this palette, but I've only used it once. So I want to, of course, give it another chance. And it's this baby from Glamlite, the Nightmare on Elm Street Dream Master palette. Now, I'm a huge horror movie fan, which I believe, yeah, Tracey is too. We've talked about that before. And so when this was released, this palette and the other palette that came in the collection, I was thrilled to get it. Now, the other palette is more green in color story, and it's not my favorite from Glamlite either. But this one was a struggle for me to use. Not that I didn't know if that I struggled with the formula necessarily, but it's not my favorite formula. I'll tell you that right now. And the color story to me, even though I do think it's cool, it's just got some kind of strange shades in here. Like for instance, this shade right here, it looks like it's this really interesting like satin shade, like black and like this kind of ruby red sparkly stuff going on. And it's actually just a black matte with the ruby red sparkles that just fall off your lids. And then we also have a black matte here. So I felt like, I don't know that we needed both of these shades. And then this shimmer shade, I wasn't super thrilled with either, but some of the other shades were okay. But of course, like this pulls real pink on me. So I really want to give this another chance and see what I think about it, because I don't think it's fair to hate a palette after only one use. So Tracey came up with the idea of doing a palette bingo with this palette. So that's what we're going to be doing in our collab video today. And let's see, the shades that I chose at random out of this palette to use in this video. You know what, let me grab my glasses because I don't know that I'm going to be able to see them. Yeah. One of these days, I'm going to shock you guys and not have to grab my glasses. I chose this one here called Springwood Slasher. I chose this one called Villain, this one called Terror, this one called Cursed, and this one called Nightmare. So I was glad that I didn't get that shade because I don't love it. I've never used it on my lids. I've just swatched it, and I just thought it swatched like crap. So yeah, this shade, this shade, this shade, this shade, this shade. Okay, so I think I know what I'm going to do for my look today. And I'm trying to get myself excited and pumped about using this palette again, but I don't know that I feel that way. So I thought it would be kind of fun to come up with some questions regarding love and hate, since Tracey loves this palette and I don't really hate the palette, I just dislike the palette. I thought that would be kind of fun. So I have some kind of this or that type questions to answer regarding love and hate. So I'll be answering those questions while I put my look together, and so will Tracey. And I cannot wait to see her look come together, see what shade she randomly chose, and then also listen to her answers to the questions. Now you're going to notice I have a black sheet hanging over my window. And the reason why I've done that is because I usually film when it's dark outside, because when the light comes through the window, it can kind of distort the lighting in my video. And because it's getting lighter earlier, I've just noticed that I don't love how the lighting looks when the light starts coming through the window. So hopefully that's not too distracting or too obnoxious, but I just needed something to kind of cover that up. I need to go get some like curtains for that window. And of course, both of my brows are done, and I just primed this eyelid in the P. Louise eyeshadow base. I think I can get through these questions only doing one eye on camera. We shall see. So I think what I'll do is start off by putting Cursed, this gray matte, in my transition area, and we'll see how that goes and see where I go from there. Oh boy. Again, I'm trying to be excited. Come on, Erica, get pumped. Because I'm telling you, I was so excited when these palettes were released, because I know this is going to sound really weird, but I loved Freddy Krueger. He scared the crap out of me, but I also loved him. I used to have posters of Freddy Krueger all over my walls in high school. And I actually had a life-size cardboard cutout of him in a tuxedo with his gloved knife fingers, with this weird smile on his face. And then above, there's like a bubble over his head that said, "Wanna dance?" My mom was so glad when I got rid of that crap. Okay, so let's get started here. And I'm gonna start answering the questions. Okay, so there's 10 initially. And the premise is, from the following list, name one you love and one you hate. So number 1 is movie. And the movie that I love the most is Silence of the Lambs. I know, some of you are probably thinking, yikes, because it's, you know, kind of a freaky movie. But again, I love horror movies. So, you know, to me, I don't know that that's really a horror movie. It's more like a suspense thriller type movie, but I love it. And a movie that I hate is, let me think here for a second. I would have to say The Happening. It's an M. Night Shyamalan movie, which I love his movies typically, but that one I left the theater. I just could not stomach it. I just thought it was so boring and so dorky and such a bizarre plot. The acting I thought was very subpar. So yeah, I walked out on that movie. I just could not do it. I've only done that one other time, and that was in Pet Sematary 2. When I was in high school, a couple of friends of mine and I went and saw that, and it was so horrible that we got up and left. So yeah, both of those I would say are my least favorite, Pet Sematary 2 and The Happening. Number 2 is song, and that's not the easiest for me to answer just because I love so much music, and I listen to lots of different types of music off and on, like it just kind of depends on my mood. But in this moment, I would say the song Both Sides Now by Joni Mitchell. You know, yesterday was Mother's Day. I'm filming this on Monday. And you know, my mom passed away almost 8 years ago, and one of her favorite songs was Both Sides Now by Joni Mitchell. So I listened to that a couple times yesterday and got very emotional about it. Also on American Idol, there was a contestant named McKenna Breinholt, I think is her name, and she was my favorite. And she also sang Both Sides Now on American Idol, and I just lost it. My husband was like, "Are you going to be okay?" I'm like, "I don't know." But she did such a good job. So right now, that's my favorite song, or the song I love. But I love tons of songs, you know. A song that I hate would be Burning Down the House by the Talking Heads. I hate that song. Every time it comes on the radio, I instantly change it. I've never liked that band. So yeah, just not a fan of that song at all. And this blended out very nicely. I do like this shade. I might end up loving this palette, you never know. So now I think what I'll do is deepen this up by going into Terror and putting that like in my crease, maybe a little bit in my outer V too, probably. Number 3, musical artist or group. Well, I like a lot of musical artists and groups, love a lot of musical artists and groups, but I would say a group that I really love is Depeche Mode. That's the best concert I've ever been to. I saw them in 1993 or 4, I think, pretty sure. I went to that concert with a roommate of mine at the time and her ex-boyfriend, which was a little awkward because they'd gotten the tickets for all of us to go when they were still dating, and then they broke up. They were trying to be friends at that point. That didn't last long. But the concert was so good. It was so good. They had just released the album. Well, not just, I don't think. No, not just released, but one of their, well, no, they just released, what was it? Songs of Faith and Devotion, I think was the album they just released. But they'd also had the album Violator, which is my favorite album of Depeche Mode's. Oh, it's so good. So they did all those songs, and they did a lot of their older songs too, which was just amazing. It was amazing. And I got this huge, like, wall size. I mean, it was huge. Like, you know, where that's hanging up, it was like twice that size poster of Depeche Mode, like all the members of the band. And I hung it in our living room in our apartment when I was in college. And one of my roommates was not a big Depeche Mode fan, so she was pretty irritated by that. But she, you know, it was fine. I mean, she didn't throw too big of a fit over that, but she was like, do we have to have this poster in our living room? I'm like, yes, we do. We do have to have it. So yeah, I would love to see Depeche Mode in concert again. I really would. A band or artist that I hate, be nice, but Britney Spears. I don't like Britney Spears. I mean, part of me kind of feels bad because I know she's been through some stuff, but I also just think the fact that she has to lip sync throughout the majority of her concerts, if not the whole concert, just makes me go, yuck. I don't know, like Pink, who flies around like an acrobat, she doesn't have to lip sync. So I don't know. Britney Spears is just not my fave. I don't know that I hate her. I just don't really like her. I don't like her music. I don't think she's got that great of a voice. Okay, let me go back into Cursed with this brush. And Terror is okay. It's okay. I mean, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I'm going to go blend this out with this brush now. Number 4, Fruit. I love Honeycrisp apples. Oh, I love Honeycrisp apples. I think they're so delicious. I just got myself a bunch of those at the grocery store last night. I try to have one of those at least once a day. Sometimes I'll have 2 in a day, but they're just so good. And I love berries, really any kind of berry. Strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, schnozberries. But I love them all, really. Fruit that I don't like, I don't know that I hate it, but that I don't like is pineapple. I'm just not a fan of pineapple at all. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. What am I saying? I don't know why. I do know why. It's kind of got that like rindy stuff in it. It's almost like crunchy. I don't like it. I have, though, had really fresh pineapple that was really good. And I was kind of surprised that I liked it so much. But it's not a fruit that I pick out to eat. No, not at all. And I'm also not really a big fan of melon either, like watermelon, cantaloupe, honeydew. It's not my fave. Okay, I mean, I'm not hating this look. It's okay. I'm liking it so far. Okay, now I'm going to go into the shade here called Villain and put that in my outer V. Number 5, Vegetable. Well, my favorite is tomato, even though I know that's a fruit. So for a real vegetable, I would say probably like Brussels sprouts. I love Brussels sprouts, really do. I used to hate them as a kid, but now I love them as an adult. I love asparagus. My husband cooks asparagus like nobody's business. So good. I love green beans. I love corn, especially corn on the cob. I know I'm supposed to only pick one here, but I'm just going to give you a few that I love. I love raw carrots. I don't love cooked carrots. Yuck. But my least favorite vegetable is onion. I cannot do onions at all. Unless they're cooked down completely to mush, then they're fine. Like I can handle sauteed onions or like just really cooked. Sometimes I even like onion rings. Like if they're sweet onions and the onions aren't crunchy, I can do that. But it's the crunch of them and like raw onion, it's just too gross. It's just so gross. I cannot do it. And I hate it like when my husband and I have cheeseburgers and he'll get onions on his, I will not kiss him because the smell of onion on his breath, I'm like, I just can't do it. It's so gross. And I like the black matte. It's working fine. I'm going to go back into Terror just a little bit kind of blend out the black shade. I've tried to get past my hatred of onions. I have, but I just cannot do it. And I remember we were getting HelloFresh for a while, and when you order when you pick out the hamburgers to cook for a meal, they always put a little onion in to chop up the onion and put it in with the hamburger meat to fry. Ugh, gross. I would just tell my husband, do not put that in my hamburger meat. That is so disgusting to me. Number 6, ice cream flavor. My favorite ice cream flavor is fish food by Ben & Jerry's. I love that. I think it's so good. I love it. And now I have a really harsh edge, so I'm gonna go back in with Cursed. A lot of my eye looks, I'm just blending back and forth, back and forth. Probably gets kind of obnoxious, but anyway, that's what happens. I love fish food, and I love Tonight Dough. If it's not Ben & Jerry's, what do I love? I mean, I like a lot of different kinds of ice cream flavors. Cookie dough is probably my favorite outside of Ben & Jerry's, I would say. I also love cookies and cream, too. I like cookies and cream ice cream. And I'm getting this too muddy. See, that's the thing. That's what I don't love about this palette, I think, too, is that the look gets real muddy real fast. And it could just be that I'm putting too much down, and that's what's causing the problem. I don't know. I'm going to go back around with this brush right here and kind of chill that edge out because I made it way too edgy. Sheesh. I don't know. I just feel like the pigmentation of these shades is kind of strange, but could just be my application too. I don't know. And then an ice cream flavor that I don't love is anything with nuts in it. Like Rocky Road, I don't like. Anything that has like chopped up nuts. I just don't like it. So now for the shimmers, I'm going to put Springwood Slasher, I think across my entire lid. I think I'm not going to put this on my lid today. I think I'm either going to put it in my inner corners or I'm going to pop it like right here on the lower lash line because I don't love that shimmer on my lid. I did that the last time and I just wasn't impressed. So let's go into Springwood Slasher. Ba, ba, ba. Number 7 is color. My favorite color is green. A color that I hate. I don't know that I hate a color. Mustard yellow is not the cutest on me clothing wise. I wouldn't say. It kind of washes me out a little bit. But I do have some mustardy yellow clothing that I still wear anyway. Number 8, book. Gosh, I love a lot of books. My favorite books are Color Purple and White Oleander. Those are my 2 favorite books. And also Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. And my daughter just read that book and she loved it. And then my least favorite book. What is my least favorite book? I don't know for sure if I have a least favorite book. Honestly, I mean, there's been books I've read that I stopped reading because I thought they were so stupid, but I cannot remember the names of any of those books. But yeah, I mean, there's been books I was like, what the hell is this? And I used to try to read it to the end because I felt like, you know, the author wrote this, I should read it. And I don't do that anymore because my time's valuable. And why am I sitting here wasting my time reading a book I don't like? So I don't do that anymore. Number 9, candy, freeze-dried Skittles. I love freeze-dried Skittles, okay? It's not a joke. It's very serious. Love freeze-dried Skittles. And then my least favorite candy are those circus peanuts, those orangey, spongy, whatever the hell they are. Gross. I hate those. Ugh, those are so disgusting. And I remember my grandparents used to always buy that for me. Like, I don't know, for Easter, I guess it was. And like, my mom would be like, eat some of those in front of them so they think you like it. And I'm like, but I don't like it. I don't want them to keep giving me these things. She's like, eat it. So I, you know, choke a couple down and like gag, and it was so gross. The texture of them is just, ugh. And then the last one here, number 10, is dessert. My most favorite dessert is cheesecake. I could eat cheesecake at every meal. And I'm really bummed out that we don't have a cheesecake factory here in town. And I'm getting this in my eye a little bit. It's kind of I don't know. It's not glittery, but it's a little chunky. And I got some of this in my eye. Hold on a second. Okay, I think I'm okay. I hate that too. I hate it. Hate. I sound like the Grinch. But yeah, I mean, love cheesecake. The dessert I hate would be anything with nuts. I don't like that. So I won't eat anything with nuts in it. And I have a weird reaction to walnuts. Walnuts just kind of make my mouth break out. So yeah, I've learned my lesson the hard way about like eating stuff. I didn't know what was in it, and it had walnuts, and I was like, my mouth was all gross. This shimmer is just blowing up everywhere. I don't know. I'm just disappointed. It's okay. It's just, yeah, no, it's not okay. I'm not going to say it's okay. I just don't like it. It's not doing what I want it to do. Anyway, it's going to be fine. It's just makeup. I can take it off. I'm going to do my lower lash line now, and I'm going to answer the last 10 questions. I did pop a little bit of this concealer on down here. This is newer in my collection. This is the Revolution Beauty IRL in real life Filter Finish Soft Matte Concealer in C1. Okay, so the last 10 here is I have to say whether I love this particular thing or hate this particular thing. And the first one is public speaking. And I'm going to go into terror and put that across my lower lash lines first. I don't love to do any kind of public speaking. I really don't. I mean, I do have a channel, but I'm not sitting in front of, you know, a bunch of people chatting. I'm by myself. So it's easier for me to do that. Like if people were watching my videos, were in the room with me, I would probably freak out a little bit. I mean, those of you I know well, I wouldn't probably care at all, but, you know, it'd just be fun. But if there were a bunch of people I didn't know, that's what's hard for me, is to do any kind of public speaking in front of people I don't know well. That makes me nervous. And I remember my freshman year of college, I just decided to go ahead and take speech right away to get it out of the way. And I was terrified because, of course, I didn't know anybody. I didn't know anyone in my speech class at first. I mean, you know, we ended up becoming buddies and stuff. And we all felt that way pretty much. The majority of the classroom, the students felt that way. But yeah, I don't love. Number 2, flying in a plane. Hate to fly. I will fly because, you know, you're not going to go to a lot of places if you don't fly. But I hate it. I have to be a little mildly sedated to fly. Although the last time I flew, when I went to La Jolla, I didn't do that, and I was fine. But I was flying with my friend, which made it a lot easier. And I think that looks okay. I want to kind of buff the edge of that out though, so I'm going to go into Cursed, just a teeny tiny itty bitty bit, and buff that out a little bit. Number 3, running a marathon. I've never ran a marathon before. I don't think I could now because I've had 4 back surgeries. I think that would be and then one of the things they told me I could not do anymore was run because of the pounding. It would hurt my lower back. But, you know, honestly, I've found this woman who has had a back fusion, and she still runs marathons. But I'll leave that to her. I'm not going to do that. So, I mean, I would love to run a marathon. I just can't do it. So. And I used to be on track when I was in high school, well, actually from the time I was 6 all the way up until I was a sophomore in high school and blew my ankle out. And I loved to do sprints and jumping. I was into jumping. I did high jump and long jump and triple jump. I was pretty decent. I mean, not great, but I was decent. So yeah, but not long distance running. No. I'm going to take this brush now and just kind of, with nothing on it, just kind of make that look a little softer. Number 4, watching a horror movie. Oh, love watching horror movies. Although I will say that as time has gone on with horror movies, they've gotten stupider. As time has gone on, like really bad. There's not any real good horror movies anymore. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this little brush off here that I was using to put terror down, and I'm going to put a little bit of villain towards the outer part of the lower lash line. So yeah, love to watch horror movies. Number 5, the sound of your own voice. Hate the sound of my own voice. When I'm editing, I'm like, oh. And sometimes, like, my husband and I will be watching YouTube on the weekends, and, you know, he's subscribed to my channel. So when he's going through, like, the recommended videos, mine will always pop up. And he'll be like, oh, let's watch your video. Because he usually watches my videos, and he hasn't watched it yet. And I'm like, oh, God. So I'll say, oh, okay. And he'll start watching it. I'm like, shut it off. I cannot hear the sound of my own voice, or I'll just leave the room. Because he's like, well, I don't want to shut it off because I don't want to screw up the, view count or algorithm or whatever the heck. He's like, I want to watch the whole thing. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm leaving the room because I cannot stand it. Ugh. Hate the sound of my own voice. I do, like, I watch my videos when I'm editing, like I have to make sure that there aren't a bunch of mistakes in it, but once it's up on YouTube, I don't watch it because I can't do that. I just cannot I can't. And the only time I do is if somebody has said, like, commented and said, oh, you said da 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 in the video, and they kind of like, oh, let's chat about what you said. And I'm like, what did I say? I'll go and like try to find that sometimes, but I don't do that. Let's see. Number 6, shopping. Don't love to shop. I will shop. I don't love to shop. Just not my thing. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to go in and get what I want to get and get the heck out of the store. That's it. So I like to online shop. That's fun. Oh yeah. Especially for makeup. I love it. So now what I'm going to do is take this shade right here called Nightmare and put that towards the very front of the lower lash line. And this might look really stupid, but I'm doing it. Number 7, cleaning the house. I don't love to clean the house. I mean, I do clean the house. Sometimes not as often as we should. We vacuumed, or my husband vacuumed last night when I went to get groceries, because Reggie, our Maine Coon, he sheds so bad, and there's like tufts of black hair all over the floor. And we'd both been like neglecting that and like, we'll do it. We're too tired. And finally my husband's like, I have to vacuum. I can't take it anymore. But I mean, you know, I feel like you have to clean the house, of course. I mean, you don't have to, but I prefer to have a clean house. But cleaning the house is not like, oh yay, I'm cleaning the house, how fun. No. I don't know, you guys. That is a pretty shade. It's like pink and yellowy, kind of, I guess. Kind of duochrome-y. I honestly kind of wish I put this on my lid, although I just didn't like it on my lid the last time I used it. I was like, nah. Now I wish I'd done the opposite, that I'd put this shade down here and this shade up here. But live and learn, right? I guess. I don't know. Let's see. Number 8, traveling. I love to travel. I do. I really like to go see other places. It's fun. Again, flying I don't love. Road trips I love. I really love road trips. I think they're really fun. I would prefer to do a road trip over flying. But you know, that's not always an option. I'm going to clean this off, go back into terror a little bit. But yeah, I do. I love to travel. I like to see new places, and that's something my husband and I really want to do more of with each other, is go traveling, because we haven't really done a whole lot of traveling together since we've been together for 8 years. So yeah, that's our goal, is, you know, we don't want to just wait till we retire, because who knows when we're going to be able to do that. I'll have to work forever. But yeah, I'd like to travel more. Number 9, talking on the phone. I do and I don't. There's kind of both sides to that, because I talk on the phone a lot at work. And so when I get off work, sometimes talking on the phone is not my strong suit. I just want to quiet, not be on my phone. But I will talk on the phone. It's just, you know, I'm going to go back into cursed a little bit, that gray shade. It's just not my absolute favoriteest thing in the world to do. But I do it. Number 10, the last one here, is kissing in public. I do like to kiss my husband in public. I don't want to like make out and grope and, you know, shove each other's tongues down our throats or anything like that. Although we've done that before when we first started dating. God, we were nuts. It was bad, you guys. I will say it was bad. There was a couple times where I'm surprised we weren't asked to leave certain establishments, because we would just start making out. We could not keep our hands off each other when we first started dating. Get a little, whew. But I mean, it was like all the time. Just, we didn't care who was around. We'd kiss and hug, and yeah. I mean, it didn't go any further than that out in public. But yeah, we got a little hot and heavy a couple times with our making out, like at the restaurant table and stuff. And the poor waitress was probably like, "Could you guys get a room?" So yes, I will kiss my husband in public, but we've toned it down quite a bit since when we first got together. So I am pretty much done with this look. I don't love it. I just don't love the pigmentation of the mattes, and that shimmer shade looks not good. So anyway, I'm going to go off camera, do my other eye, do the rest of my face, and I'll come back. So this, of course, is my finished look, and I will go into more detail about how I feel about this look, and of course show you a few things I threw on my face for my finished look, and then go into a lot more detail about how I feel about the eyeshadow palette for this look. But I forgot to answer one of my own questions, and that is, what do I love the most and what do I hate the most about makeup? And I would say what I love the most about makeup is eyeshadow palettes, but also that it's just such a fun, creative, and artistic expression. I just love that. I love to put makeup on. I love to play with makeup. And it's just become this amazing way for me to like connect with myself. That's another thing I love about it too. So that's more than one thing. What I hate the most about makeup, I don't think I hate anything about makeup, honestly. I really don't. One thing I don't love about makeup though is when a look turns out in a way that you didn't want it to turn out or that you're not thrilled with. And this is one of those looks. I just don't like the eyeshadow palette. And I'll show it to you again, go into more detail, but let me quickly show you just a few things I throw on my face for this finished look. On my lips, I used a Revlon Super Lustrous Bullet Lipstick in the shade Black Cherry 477. And I just love these. And I think the last time I used one of these lipsticks, I'm pretty sure I called it a L'Oreal lipstick. It's from Revlon. And I got this set, a bunch of these from TJ Maxx quite some time ago, but they still work really well. And I just thought this shade would look really pretty with the eye look. And then for my upper lid liner, I'm using the Revolution Beauty Renaissance Flick felt tip liner in black. I've wanted to try this eyeliner for so long, and I was needing another felt tip black liner, so I picked this up off the website. I think it was on sale, very cheap. From what I remember, and I love it. I love this. And then for my mascara, I also picked up a mascara from Revolution Beauty, and this is the 5D Lash Pow Volumizing Mascara. It's really nice. And watch this. You push down. Isn't that cool? And then you push down and kind of turn, and it locks it. I know, I'm very easily entertained. And then for my inner corner, I was going to use that pinky shade that I put down towards the front part of the lower lash line, and so I grabbed my Aurora Glow Kit from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I use this shade right here called Luna in my inner corners. So yeah, pretty cool. Lilith Luna, you know, tying Tracey into this too. So now let's talk about the eyeshadow palette. Glamlite Dream Master Nightmare on Elm Street palette. It says never sleep again. I just don't like this palette. I really don't like it. At first with this matte, I was like, okay, it's blending out fine. It looks okay. And then as I applied Terror and Villain, I don't know, it just turns into kind of a murky mess. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the way I'm applying the shades. Maybe this is more of like a pack it on and barely blend type of eyeshadow formula for the mattes. But I don't know. I just don't like them. I think they're weird mattes. That's the best way I can describe it. The shimmer shade called Springwood Slasher, it's just a weird formula. Like the Scooby-Doo palettes I have from this brand, the shimmers are more opaque, and they're just like, I don't know. I just don't like this formula. It just blows up on my eyelids. It's really kind of airy almost, I feel like. And then this shade was okay on my lower lash lines. I really do wish I'd put this across my lid, but I did that the last time I used it, or I put it on my lid, like partially, like, you know, the front part of the lid. And I just was like, nah. So yeah, this just is not what I wanted it to be. You know, I had such high expectations for this palette. I thought maybe if I use it again, I'll like it more. And granted, it's only been 2 uses, and I know, you know, I'm going to get some shit for not using it 12 times. And well, how can you know you don't like a palette? I just know that I do not like this palette. This is a palette that I think I will give to someone else that maybe will give it more love, give it to a better home. Just because I'm just not getting along with the palette. I'm just not. And this shade right here is just a weird shade. I'm so happy that Tracey loves this palette. Maybe I'll give mine to Tracey. Maybe Tracey would like 2 copies of the palette. I don't know. I'm glad she loves it, and she's created beautiful looks with it. I just am not getting along with the palette. So makes me sad because I don't like to not like an eyeshadow palette, but I just don't like it. I am so excited to go and watch Tracey's video, see which shade she randomly chose for our palette bingo collab, see her look come together, and also listen to the answers of the questions that I came up with. I cannot believe I forgot to answer it. Well, I didn't forget. I did answer it. Just it took me a minute to remember that I needed to answer that question, of course. And please go and show Tracey a ton of love. Again, I'll link her channel, Lilith Luna, in my description box. She is so amazing, so beautiful, and such a very dear friend to me. And it's been a real honor to collab with her. There's a hair floating around. And I hope that she and I can collab together many more times. I'm really looking forward to more collabs with Tracey. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your lives to sit down and watch this video. If you're new here and you enjoyed what you saw, please consider subscribing, smash the like button, and of course, comment down below in the comment section. I love to chat with you guys there. And if you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. I cannot wait to see you guys again in my next video. But in the meantime, please take very good care of yourself. Be well, safe, happy, and I will see you soon. Bye.
Drop it.